What you are about to see here, you are not mentally prepared for. Here is Andrew Tate making a somewhat pro-trans argument using the most misogynistic and transphobic statements possible. As a chaser, Andrew Tate is a chaser, it turns out. Let's take a look.
Ignore the construction, I'm rebuilding my mansion. You'll see when it's done, we'll do an episode of Cribs. I had to get this area here. I bought my neighbor's house. I had to construct a specific area for the Bugatti. Anyway, that's all gonna be lit up and shit, Bugatti logos. You broke boys don't know. Listen, I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting
like 1. He says transsexual, transgender, and both of these people would be women in this regard, I think. Women should not be valued off of like how much they appeal as objects of sexual desire to men. I'm gonna get all that bullshit out of the way real quick so we can like really understand what he's trying to say here. Because he said, hey, this is important.
And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're gonna be gay if they do anything else, but they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a dick, that's the tranny, or Hulk Hogan with a pussy, that's the girl. This is the question I'm asking. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan? So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're gonna fuck Hulk Hogan? Okay, there's a pussy, but he's got...
He's literally saying Hulk Hogan with a pussy in this situation would be a trans man, and Megan Fox with a dick in this situation would be a trans woman. Doesn't matter what terminology he's using. Clearly, that's what he's saying. Like, it's obvious that that's what he's saying. This is at the heart of gender being an expression. Like, that's literally the point. It's what your output is. It's how people perceive you. He's saying it's a cis woman that just looks like Hulk Hogan. Okay, it's a cis woman that looks like Hulk Hogan. Sure. Fine, probably a turf. If you don't want to think about it that way, then that's fine. Let's say it's an ugly cis woman. He's saying it's gay to fuck an ugly cis woman instead of fucking a super hot trans woman. That's it.
A mustache and muscles and shit. He's all hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's a pussy. That is gay. Whereas Megan Fox, okay, he's got a dick, but maybe you can like scoot it out the way. I'm still Megan Fox. You know what I'm saying? At least she's small and shit. You can get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world.
This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world. Dude, I love that. I love this take, dude. Okay, but he did recognize the correct gender expression, a step in the right direction in general. Dude, this is literally just him trying to fucking explain to people that he's not gay for wanting to fuck a trans woman, which is ironic because if he wasn't a transphobic person or didn't use transphobic terminology, he's just completely correct. Literally, he is just correct if that is the case, but he uses transphobic terminology while he's trying to advocate for this position, which makes him a chaser. Because yeah, trans women are women. I have said this before.
That's not the way it is.
Fucking women is for pussies, dude. Oh, not this. Real men fuck men. Seriously, I was just thinking about it. Like, what are you? You're gonna fuck a woman, dude? What are you? What are you, gay?
That's not the...
No, this is not it. Come on. No, but I have used similar arguments. I have used similar arguments before. Not like identical to him, because his argument is like fucking ridiculous. Listen. Back in the day, everyone constantly would be like, would you ever date a trans woman? Would you ever date a trans woman? And one thing I always said, and I still believe this is something I've still, is a value I believe. Not that like, your appeal to me is what makes you a woman or not, obviously. It's the Buck Angel versus Serena Valentina argument. Yeah. I used to do this all the fucking time. This was an argument I used to make all the time in my, dealing with debate bro days, which is that like, I already have an incredibly shallow and vain high standards. Not that it fucking matters. You being sexually attractive to me does not mean that you are, you're a woman or not. But I used to say this and people get so fucking triggered when I was like, listen, if you fit the narrow appeal window that I have and you're a trans woman without a penis, which, opens up a different can of worms because people then get mad at me, but like, I'm just not into penises. If if you are Dua Lipa, let's say, and you got Beyond Pussy down there in Dave Chappelle's Only Good Joke, what do you think? I'm not going to do anything? Like, yeah, if you come up to me and you're like, oh, I'm a trans woman and I would like to have sex with you, I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, it's great. Like, what do you mean? I've already, yeah, if you are imagining someone who's a 10 in that circumstance, you have already admitted that, like, yeah, you're hot. And when I say this, or when I used to say this, people will get so fucking mad. They were like, dude, that's gay. You're gay. It's like, okay, sure, if you think so. I don't think it is, but that lies at the heart of why people are so conflicted about, like, trans people existing. So they're biologically a woman, but express gender as a man and hot like Dua Lipa? No. They are AMAB, assigned male at birth, trans women. They look like fucking Dua Lipa and have a nice doctor-made vagina. I'm doing it, 100%. Is it transphobic to exclude trans women based on their genitals? Seems like there's still debate around this. What does the trans council think? Yeah, I know. This is like, but this is at the cutting edge of trans conversations, especially when, like, trans existence is so much more than that. Like, who gives a fuck whether or not you want to fuck a trans person? Like, that is not a standard that you apply to anyone else. You know what I mean? You don't go, oh, well, I don't want to fuck a dude. I don't want to fuck gay dudes, so they shouldn't exist. It's not a standard, or they should exist. It's not a standard that you would apply in any situation. It's ridiculous. I hate that is like the conversation, which is why I don't like having that conversation. It's stupid. Trans women are women. Dick, no dick, doesn't fucking matter. Trans women are women. Their fuckability is not important in this conversation. Just because I have a preference over genitals or genitalia does not mean that I don't think that a person is valid in their gender expression and their gender identity. It's idiotic. You never reduce people to their genitals when talking about them. It's silly as fuck. That's my take. So this is an argument I've made a lot. Of course, the difference between me and Andrew Tate is that I'm not a fucking chaser, and he very clearly is. And for that reason, when you're a chaser, you basically objectify and fetishize trans people, and then you have to constantly make up, like, reasons as to why you're not gay. It's like, bro, you're not. Like, you don't have to be. Well, Andrew might, but but for different reasons. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. It's just so incredibly fucking stupid, and it reeks of insecurity. And a lot of men are like this. They look at porn with trans women in it, and then they think, like, oh man, I'm conflicted now. It's like, you don't need to be conflicted. That's the main point. Okay, Hasan, but not everything is transphobic, you twit. Okay, but I'm not gay, though. Oh, God. These motherfuckers are, like, literally running into the, wait, so if I won't bang trans women? Dude, don't worry about it. No trans woman wants to fuck you anyway. You literally never, ever, ever have to worry about that. I promise you. This is why I started the conversation by mentioning very clearly that you wanting to fuck someone does not make them or stop them from being a woman. Please understand this. It has nothing to do with that. Bro, people in the chat scared they gay. Yeah, it's funny. Like, who cares? We're in 2023. Let's say you're gay or maybe pan or something. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? What do you mean? Just be normal, dude. Be normal. Be normal. Be normal. I just want to leave it on this note. After saying you should always choose Megan Fox with a dick, you should always choose a trans woman to fuck over an ugly woman, he ends the argument by saying fucking ugly women is gay, and he ends the argument by saying this.
At least she's small and shit and get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world we now live in. What is straight? What is gay? It's all a big sliding spectrum, isn't it? Because if you're gonna sit here and go, oh no, it's gay to bang Megan Fox with a dick, I counter that argument. It's gay to bang Hulk Hogan with a pussy. So which one is it?
Like, if he literally said Hulk Hogan is a cis man with a pussy and Megan Fox is a trans woman with a dick and made this argument, it would just be 100% correct. Like, that's the only part of this well, that's not the only part, but, like, he says a bunch of transphobic shit in the beginning. But, like, he is a chaser saying sexuality is a spectrum, and we are now adding Andrew Tate into the trans-inclusive radical misogyny arc. He's, like, kind of close. I hope Sneeko sees this and also starts defending trans women. Is liking trans people always referred to as a chaser? I mean, fuck Tate, but in general, it feels a bit bad to call people chasers, maybe, unless they're also transphobic. No, that is it. You understand it. Yes. You're a chaser if you're transphobic and want to fuck trans women and can't cope with that and, like, have a hard time recognizing that, like, trans women are women. You're objectifying and fetishizing trans women. Yeah. You don't see trans women as women, but instead just a fetish, an object of desire. For example, Alex Jones, a transphobic person, watches trans porn, definitely is a chaser. There are a lot of examples of this in the conservative movement. Half the fucking resentment that they feel towards trans people unironically revolve around how much they want to fuck trans people. But yes, make no mistake, I'm not saying being attracted to trans women makes you a chaser. So, speaking of trans issues, there is a war brewing inside of the Daily Wire. Christina Buttons says, I'm leaving the Daily Wire. I work hard getting the facts right and using precise language because of the heated nature of the gender debate, with so much at stake, while their pundits dump gasoline all over it for entertainment and clicks. As an independent journalist, I will continue my commitment to factual and rigorous reporting on gender ideology and the pediatric gender medicine with the goal of reaching people across the political spectrum. I've already begun receiving inquiries from left-wing publications to see if I'll give them dirt. As a company, the Daily Wire is a fantastic place to work. They treat their employees extremely well. Their editorial team is top-notch, and everyone I've ever interacted with there is wonderful. I'm leaving because I want to reach people on the center-left, and lately I felt like there's been a distinct increase in inflammatory rhetoric from the Daily Wire personalities that make it more difficult to accomplish that. What did Matt Walsh say to that? She's not great, by the way. She's a fucking awful demon herself. Matt Walsh said, if you had concerns, you would have walked across the room and talked to me, but you never did. 2, you are well aware of what I've achieved in this fight. I would stack those achievements up against anyone. I'm not in this for clicks and entertainment, and you know that. Yeah, this dude is literally like, I'm a demon for real. He's like, I want trans people to die, and I've put my fucking brand on there. Matt Walsh literally is just like, listen, you don't understand. Like, I was responsible for the Boston Children's Hospital getting a bomb threat, you know? Like, do you know how fucking sick that is? You think it's easy to fucking defend an anti-LGBT mass shooter in the immediate aftermath of a mass shooting? Yeah, he's like, I'm principled, dog. Leave if you want, but there's no reason to lob baseless insults and question my integrity on the way out the door. It's also quite funny that you accuse me of wanting clicks while you use my name and picture for clicks. And not only that, but you turn against allies in the movement who have achieved far more in this fight than you have. That is crazy that he's just like literally saying like this is an accomplishment. Christina was a leftist Democrat until a couple of years ago. She's got into this movement and now she feels that she's in a position to tell the rest of us how we should operate. He's like, I've been transphobic since day one, bitch. How dare you come at me? Well, you got to show us Matt Walsh saying that. There's no shot. Matt Walsh literally looked to the fucking the Q shooting that happened at the Q nightclub and basically defended the fucking shooter. He did. He said, more please, pull up the clip, brother. I got to see this. Okay, where is it? Let's find it.
According to the left, the drag queen child combination has become dangerous. They say it's a lightning rod for violent backlash, right? That's what they said. And it's greatly exaggerated, of course. Mostly it's invented out of whole cloth, actually. But even by their version of events, if it's causing this much chaos and violence, why do you insist on continuing to do it?
For those of you who don't understand what he's saying here, this is immediately in the aftermath of the Q shooting, where he falsely claims that there's a drag queen power hour for children happening at the club, and then basically says this is why you deserved, like, you know, the violence that you were subjected to is valid, and it will keep happening. It's victim blaming. He didn't even say that, like, I disavow the violence. He said it's expected, and it's going to keep happening.
If according to you, it's like putting people's lives at risk, if the effort to have men cross-dress in front of children is putting people's lives at risk, why are you still doing it? Is it as important to you?
Interesting is his publication the same that hosted quotes like, we must eradicate transgenderism. Yeah, they keep saying it. If he doesn't want to get mugged, why does he keep walking around with a wallet? If you didn't want to be raped, why did you fucking wear the dress that you wore? It's never the fucking perpetrators of violence that is unjustifiable and illegal and inhumane. It's the victims that are at fault. He's victim blaming.
They demand that we explain why we object to children being exposed to drag queens, and we can explain it, and we have, and we will continue to, because it's very easy to explain. Drag is inherently sexual and ideological. It is not burlesque, and it's not appropriate to bring your child to a burlesque show.
Your child.
You disgusting freaks.
I don't know, man. It's just like, I'm so tired. Every time Matt Walsh is like, dude, look at how much I've done for the fucking movement, he's literally talking about like harming trans people. Just understand that.